Incredible opportunity has presented itself, one I suggest you take. In all my time with this press company, no one has even managed to get close to Charles Foster Cian, let alone get an interview. Understandable considering the stance we've taken on him over the years. The alleged friend of the working man is now someone who's bleeding this university's economy even worse than before. Still, his rise to power has been meteoric, and we've never been able to get close enough to find out why. That's where you come in. He wants to talk to you, and you alone.
But why me, Skip? I've never met him before.
Well, he once had your job, back when I barely even started. But he wormed his way to the top with his deceit and trickery. This man promised to change, but once in power oppressed and subjugated his students at every turn. Remember, this man is an extremely skilled manipulator. And I'm sure he'll have his own agenda. Keep your eyes open, stay vigilant, and we'll nail this guy.
Mr. Thompson. Thank you for coming. Please, sit.
Thank you. You know I am grateful for an audience. Previously, my colleagues have had such difficulty getting hold of you.
There's a reason for that. I'm not inclined to give interviews to tabloids that demonize me at every turn. Have a drink, Mr. Thompson, please.
Just water will be fine. But I must ask, what made you call me?
False representation. Your paper consistently condemns my cabinet, saying we've sunk this university's economy. I sought you, the political correspondent, to offer my take on events.
Pardon me, but our paper believes that your election came about through false representation. You campaigned for social and financial equality, yet the university's economy is worse than ever.
My election came about from the people's recognition that I would make things fair for them.
But how can you say that when you repeatedly...
I came to power through my own hard work. I wanted to make a change, but change takes time. I still maintain the people's interests, and nothing got me here than hard work alone.
Come here, Sonny. Sit down. You're wondering why I called you to my house. You see this?
All this is mine.
You know what I am.
The editor-in-chief of Red Brick News Company.
Ah, you're thinking like a boob. Like one of them. What am I?
You're the man in charge.
Correct. I am the news. I make the stories. I tell them what to think. What are you?
Your political correspondent?
You're pawn sport. You know why? The people don't know you. They don't believe you. And they don't trust you. It's your job to change that. Pick your battles.
So I need to earn the people's trust.
That's just one part of it. It's what you do with that trust. Get the people on your side and you can take anyone down. That's how I'm still standing. Take this, kid.
You've got more power than you know, son.
But like I said, right now, you're pond spawn. Now get out of my face and make me some news!
You on the mark!
Blast!
And where do you think your successes came from?
I simply wrote the truth. I was the voice the students needed to hear. They needed to know that they did not have to stand for the constant failures of their guild, that there was a better alternative.
And you thought you could provide them with this better alternative. Is that what made you run for office?
Words can only get you so far in life. When I was in your position, I didn't believe that either. One needs action to bring about change. And this action must be implemented. My power simply came from when I realized this. Who are you people? What do you want?
We are the elders of the Senate chambers.
We've been watching you for a long time.
Why? Your position carries great influence. The voice of the people. Your column has been speaking out against our current guild representatives.
The students are so riled up that we cannot act covertly. They want something better.
If this is some attempt to intimidate me into changing my column, I will not be so easily swayed.
On the contrary, your ability to rouse the people has sparked the interest of our order.
It is time you knew the truth. Our order is the sovereign power over the university. We have resided over guild election for generations.
So you're saying these elections aren't even democratic? Your organisation has controlled the whole thing?
The students must have democracy, and we allow them that. A delicate, balanced system of power has been in place for a long time. If the students feel as if there is no democracy, our order cannot live. We must only allow them to endorse weak, ineffectual policies.
It is time you knew the truth. We take the steps. They are too weak. Why do you think the tuition fees are so high? And why the mindless signs on campus? And the interests of the Senate chambers must be represented. Which leads me to our proposition. Your words speak loudly, but a man in your position must know that you need power to turn words into actions, and I am offering you a chance at that power. Run in the next elections, and our order will ensure your victory. All that we ask is our interests be maintained.
You're asking me to compromise my belief in democracy in exchange for the power to make a difference. I must be able to implement my own policies.
And you can, as long as they do not interfere with the interests of our order.
Get me those votes.
Exactly. He is just like us.
To point out and make public the dishonesty, the downright villainy of this Senate Chamber's political machine, having maintained complete control of our guild council and beloved previous electorates for generations. How do I know this, you ask? That same machine approached me with promises of electoral success, providing I represent their interests, as so many of my esteemed colleagues have done in the past. Now every electorate will make promises. Only a handful will keep them. But there is only one promise I will make, and our university's future depends on it. My first official act as leader of the free world is to eliminate all overriding command of the Senate Chambers Council over the guild electorates and their unregulated access to university finance. This university belongs to the working man, not to those who wish to bleed it like the cash cow they see it as. This is our university. We simply need to take it back. I saved this university from the fiery jaws of corruption. If it weren't for my actions, you'd be grovelling before some Senate chamber puppet.
But instead, I'm talking with Charles Foster Cian, the friend of the working man, the fighting liberal, the people...
The Grand Dragon, the king of the lizard people, the Alpha, the Omega, the last prophet of men.
The people believed in the change you offered them. By exposing the corruption ring, they thought things would change. Are you even listening to me?
I'm listening to what is most important.
Great. Well, let me ask you this. Your initial manifesto promised to terminate all unrestricted access to the university's budget. Am I right in thinking that you and your treasury are in control of that? Our records indicate that while the annual extracurricular budget has stayed the same, funding to society has been cut by £3,000.
Have you ever kept ants, Mr. Thompson?
Ants? We're not talking about ants. We're talking about this university.
When the queen ant dies, the colony dies unless a neighbouring queen is found. Do you know what separates you and I?
Is it that you have ants in your pants?
I do not have ants in my pants. I have an entire empire at my disposal. Do you know what separates us, Bucky? I am the queen. And you are little more than a worker.
Is that what all these people are to you? Just worker ants?
The queen takes care of all of her children. Without them, she will die. And without her, they will surely perish. Unison is what makes colonies thrive. If the workers do not work for the queen, the colony fails.
Wait, what's going on here?
There's a reason I arranged this, and it's not just to talk about ants. You and I are both aware of the sway your position has. With all your social idealism and desire for change, you forget the realities of life. True change comes from within the establishment. Only the Queen has the power to change the colony. If one worker ant is silenced, nothing changes.
Wait, are you going to have me killed?
I have a proposition for you. True power comes from within the establishment. It comes from power and actions, not desires or ideals. I have that kind of power. All I ask in return is for my interests to be positively represented in the public eye. Think about my offer, Mr. Thompson. Opportunities like this will not come knocking again. Oh, and Mr. Thompson, I trust you have everything you need for your story.